Hey guys, this is my first video with regards to how to do something. So I'm just looking at Conquest Destiny. I'm just about to complete the No Place Like Dome. I think this is probably not necessarily the hardest, but definitely the most time consuming of all of these Destiny missions. I'm just basically just about to finish, so I thought I'd show everyone the map of how to do it and why I chose the path that I chose and why I would recommend it for others. So I'll just switch back to my path. So on the yellow there. So obviously we start here. What I did turn one, as you can see, I'm on turn 6 now. I'm just about to finish. So I've got 3 up by Seattle. They got 7, and I got 3 down here against Arizona, and they've got 7. So how I just started. So I started here. First go, I got to here. I didn't worry about stealing off Milwaukee because I knew that I was going to start the next go with all of my reinforcements, which means I could beat them quite easy. What I would recommend, you'll have to play this game against Milwaukee. I recommend, even if you don't think you can beat a team on Legend, one of the teams you've got to play in this one is Toronto, and they are massive easy beats. So I would recommend giving it a go and just keep restarting until you get it, because it's a massive bonus to start off. It makes beating Milwaukee really easy, it makes the next step real easy. And if you don't think you can win on Legend, it might be because of who you play on Legend. I find that I've got a pretty good record to be well over 4 out of 5 wins on Legend, especially when you're playing against teams like Baltimore, Toronto, Miami, White Sox. There's a few easy beats out there. So pick an easy beat, steal all their players. So your second goes would start here. You would have 5 from your steal and 2 from your reinforcements. So that would give you 7, which gives you 8 here. So you take on these guys, and that's an all-star level game because you've got so many. It might even be veteran. All right, so that's 8. So you go 7, and you go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So then, and the next go, again, steal from Baltimore or somewhere easy. If you want to do it on Legend, at this point, you could switch to all-star and you could still finish it quite easily within 10 goes. But I just kept stealing on Legend because the quicker you get it done, the less hexagons you've actually got to win. You can usually just find a few empty ones if you get it done soon enough. So you steal on Legend again. I think I stole off Baltimore this time around. So I had 5 plus my 4 reinforcements, so I had 9. I only put 2 here, so I had 3 going against 2 because I already stolen off Toronto before. So there was no real need to bulk that up. And then I put the rest down here. And there's a particular reason why I chose this path down to Houston. And that is because you got to try and keep your snake undamaged as long as possible. So what I mean by the snake is all of your hexagons joined together and no one breaking them. Now this way, as you can see, I avoid every stronghold. The only stronghold I touch is Detroit, and they haven't fired a shot at me, which is great. But other than that, I'm staying at least 2 hexagons away from every single stronghold. That way, it's very unlikely that they're going to try and break you. It's not a guarantee that they won't, but it's definitely very unlikely. Now, when you get down to, once you put all your people there and then you go and beat Toronto, you'll have a spare person up in Toronto. What I wanted to do, but I couldn't because I lost a reinforcement up here because the servers cut out during my game. I was going to take 1 more hexagon, which would have given me an extra reinforcement, but it didn't matter in the end anyway. So I can't remember exactly how many reinforcements I had when I got here. I think this time I stole off Tampa because I'm going there anyway. And then you just make this beeline down. I played all my games purely because I'm chasing the Rolly Fingers saves, and I got a stack left, so I figured I might as well just play them all. And then I got down to here, this crucial hexagon here. Now, I had enough to take on Houston right then and there. I had about 5 or 6 left. But I didn't take on Houston. I left there and then started going across this way first. There's a really important reason for that, and that is that if I can then, at the start of my next go, dump a few men there, again, the rest of my hexagons are now 2 away from Houston. Now, Houston are the toughest team to beat in this program. So going against them with short numbers and potentially losing might then open them up to take some of these hexagons away. So I would come down to here. I would not attempt to go against Houston, and then I would come across and start on Tampa and Miami. And then, which is exactly what happened to me, then Houston might try and take that hexagon, and good luck to them, and they did take it off me. But they're not going to continue on because the way the computer works is it likes to keep its stronghold full and doesn't really care about its outside hexagons. So they took this one, but it's okay because my snake didn't die because I still had that path going through there. So then at the start of my next go, I dumped a few guys there. I dumped only the amount of people needed here to take both Tampa and Miami. So I've still got 2 down in Miami. So I just made sure that I finished with 2. I always make sure you finish with a spare just in case there's a server issue or, God forbid, you lose a game. And then once I took out Miami, I also dumped 5 players here. I can't remember whether I did that in the previous turn or this turn. Dumped 5 players there before I took on Houston. And then when I came to taking on Houston, I actually did this. No, sorry, that's all right. I then took on Houston, and I took them out. And then I started this path, and I got to here before that go was over, which was the end of my last turn, end of turn 5. So at the end of turn 5, I had 39 territories. 40, I might have been 40 territories. So that's 13 reinforcements. And then I stole, I can't remember who I stole against that time. I think it was the White Sox. I stole against the White Sox and got another 5. Again, you don't have to steal and get 5, but I don't find it very difficult, especially you've got to do a couple of decent pitches, a couple of decent hitters. You don't need a stacked team. I did this getting bloody George Brett from Kansas City's finished, and he was hopeless. But anyway, yeah, I got to there, so then I dumped what I needed there. So as you can see, I've got 3 left here to take on 7. So I think that will be a Hall of Fame game, and I get 2 cracks at the cherry there if I don't manage to get the win against the Diamondbacks, who are a good team. The rest of my reinforcements I threw up here. And then before I went after this one, I got all of my players up to here. So I had 4 there, and that was the last square of it might have been here, the last square that any Seattle team had. So I had them both sitting here, and then I just worked one by one until they're both sitting right next to their opponents. Because I'm playing the games too, I don't have to worry about if you sim games, then the computer has its go in between you simming games. Whereas if you play the games, that doesn't happen. You can just keep playing and then they sim after your go. So if you are playing the games, it is less likely that you're going to have hexagons taken off you. Having said that, all of these ones were empty, so they could have stolen off them, but they didn't. So that's basically it. I recommend this path. I found it really easy. I'm at the end of my 6th go. I'm going to get this before 6 turns. We've got 10 turns to get this on hard, so another 4 turns on top of this. That just means that you can steal on All-Star and still get this finished within 10 turns, I'm certain. Yeah, just remember, the big thing is, obviously you can't help Detroit unless you take Detroit out, which I did consider, but that's an extra hexagon I don't need to use. But when you cut down the middle here, just stay 2 away from everyone. Make sure you come out underneath Kansas here, so you've got a shorter path to Arizona. And then this crucial little 3 hexagons here, you need all 3 of them. Really important. And that's basically it. Everything else is pretty straightforward from there. And then Conquest Destiny will be done, and that 94 diamond will be mine. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I don't really have any other videos, so I'll be honest, there's probably no need to subscribe. You can like if you want, leave a comment if you want. But that's all, guys. I'll catch you guys later.